Hello and welcome to another Starcraft 2 beta commentary. This is WTii guiding you through this 1v1 on the map of Metalopolis. It's between kASh, the red Protoss, and myself as the blue Zerg. And naturally I'm going to send off my overlord to the nearest next spawning base, which is this point, 8 o'clock side. But my enemy is at the actual 2 o'clock side, whereas I am at the 6 o'clock. Aren't we learning numbers and time? Isn't that great? So I should really speed up the gameplay here because I don't think anything's really going to kick off at the start. He goes for a scout after his pylon, as we can see. We'll see the spawning pool. It's a fairly fast spawning pool, to be honest. Oh, that was something that you sort of missed out there. But basically all I did was when you get to 10 food, put a drone each on Thespian Geyser, and then make another couple of Zerglings or drones or whatever it is you're going to make, then cancel the geysers. So that way you actually got 12 out of 10 food. It's a little trick that most Zerg players will use. He knows a rush is coming, so he's prepared to try and block me in. And to be honest, it's going to work. I don't really want to lose any Zerglings here. I just want to sort of toy around with him because I'm actually going to be moving on to something else. I'm not intending to make any more Zerglings after this, as far as I remember. I decided I got a good surround on that Zealot, so I'm going to take him out. I'm not really going to lose that many Zerglings. Probably lost like 2 to 3 Zerglings for his one Zealot, so that was still a good payoff. I just want him to know that I'm here, and I want him to panic and sort of spend a lot of resources into Zealots, really, if I can help it, whilst I'm expanding. That's the whole point of this. Is a lot of it is... It's a trick in your opponent, really. I mean, he's worried that I'm going to be massing Zerglings. A whole bucket load of Zerglings are going to break through and go crazy on him. But of course, I have no intention of doing that. All I'm doing is getting my economy going. Queen is being made and another hatchery is being put down. So yeah, let's speed up the game again. Whilst we see cybernetics core. Okay, that was just a little joke if you was actually reading a text there. Warcraft 3! Okay. Yeah, so here we can see he's got his 5 Zealots versus my 4 Zerglings. I decide that I'm not going to be able to take him on. I don't want to run back to my base because that's only going to encourage him to come towards my base. So I know what I'll do. I'll throw him inside of his base. That way, that'll keep him plenty occupied. He'll be like, oh no, I've got to deal with these Zerglings now. I've got to pay attention to it. As a Protoss player, it's very annoying when you get Zerglings in your base. It's very time consuming. You have to basically be keeping an eye on them almost all the time because they can strike at any moment. Most of the time they'll just be running around pretending to attack, but when they do actually go for attack they hit so fast that they can take out a couple of probes if you're not looking. So yeah, he knows that. I've got a couple of Zealots, a couple of Zerglings behind the smoke screen there. So at this point I don't want to focus too much on harassing. I want to sort of like slow him down, but I also want to get on with macro and building other things, so I can't look at my Zerglings the whole bloody time. So he's going crazy on the gateways, so he's going to be wanting to do a big push at some point soon because that's a lot of gateways. There's clearly no expansion yet and only one assimilator, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Zealots assumably, and they're making their way to my expansion right now, which is a good thing because I have just got myself 3 spine crawlers, so that should put him off. So I don't have much else to fight him with. He's heading up towards my main. That's not good. Luckily he moves back out, but I do react quickly and I do decide to move these spine crawlers to block that ramp, so he would have only got a few up there, which I could probably beat off with the drones I've got. So he probably didn't want to take the risk. He doesn't know what's up there. He hasn't scouted. He doesn't know what I've got. I could have a few Zerglings there. I could have whatever. So that paid off for me, really. That's just wasted more of his time. He can't do anything with those Zealots at the moment. He's even lost one. Let's have a look at the units, resources, spending. So far you can see he spent 1,100 or 1,000 odd on his army. I've only spent 350, whereas I've spent a huge amount more on my economy. So clearly, as long as I can hold him off, I'm going to be in the advantage here, because that's all I have to do. That's why these spine crawlers are going down. It does look a bit newbie, to be honest, massing spine crawlers, but believe me, I wouldn't do it unless it was necessary. If I did not make this many spine crawlers, those Zealots would get through and they would just end the game straight away, not to mention the blimmin' stalkers that are not far behind. So I definitely need the spine crawlers and just a few Zerglings. Few Zerglings, I say. That's 27, I think. So 27 should be enough to sort of push him back and forth. This replay is basically going to be showing you as a Zerg player how, well, not necessarily as a Zerg player, but just a sort of how to play with your opponent's mind, really. It's a bit of back and forth, you know, tricking them really, whilst I build on my economy. That's the whole point. I don't really care about losing my Zerglings that much. I don't really care. I just want to buy myself as much time as possible so I can get ahead of him on economy and then build better units and then smash him with those better units. But for the time being, I'm gonna have to make do with these spine crawlers and Zerglings. So he's getting a few cheap hits in. Not bad for him, but he's not falling for my trick. I want him to sort of come in and then go attack. But at the same time, I don't want to do it now because I just realised all my spine crawlers are up the top and they're not going to be attacked. So I'm going to have to move everything up towards my spine crawlers. Otherwise, if I did decide to attack him then, I would be doing myself out of about 3 or 4 spine crawlers worth, because they would not be able to attack. So that would have really screwed me over. Yeah, hang on 1 second. That might be just a bit too loud. Okay, back to the game. Yeah, I decided to trap him in and then move my spine crawlers down. I know I'm going to lose a fair few Zerglings there, but if I can get the guaranteed kill on those stalkers, then I'm all up for it, to be honest. The Zealots are a bit annoying, but he's decided to retreat those because he knows that his stalkers are going to be going down any second, and then the Zealots would be next. So yes, that's gone very badly for him. I still get to keep my expansion, although I don't have many drones. Let's have a look at it. He's actually got more probes than I've got drones, so really, I'm not that far ahead in terms of economy, but I have still got the expansion. As long as I can hold on to it, then I should be able to do some good. So I brought the Zerglings up here just to try and put him off a bit. He might have spotted them thinking they're going to go for his main, which is why he actually brought those probes here. If you might have just quickly noticed that, as I saw, he clearly brought the probes there to just block a bit, so he thought the Zerglings were going to be going for his base. But now he feels safe enough that he's just put a Zealot there instead to block, whilst he continues his assault on my expansion. Now I'm going to try and get a surround on here. Hopefully this is going to pay off for me. That looks good so far. I'm definitely going to get those few Zealots down. Stalkers are all bunched in, but I think it's worth sacrificing. No, I don't actually. I do not, and that's probably just as well, because those Zealots are on the way, so really that did work off for me. If I actually decided to carry on attacking those Stalkers, I probably would have been able to kill a few, but by the time I killed those few I would have lost all of my Zerglings, and then I would have had nothing left to defend myself, apart from a couple of spine crawlers. You need these Zerglings here, just to sort of run back and forth into his army, just to put him off, make him run back. Buy yourself more time. That's the whole purpose of this. I'm not looking to get myself a super army at this point. I'm just trying to hold him off as long as I can. Unfortunately, I realise that this is the point where I'm going to have to retreat completely, so I'm going to have to lose that expansion. He did do some good harass there, constantly on my expansion there. So this is not looking good for me, because I've just lost my expansion. So I'm not going to be able to make that many units, because I'm not going to have that much lava now. But what I might have is a hell of a lot of Hydralisks coming out soon, hopefully. Yes, yes I do. I'm starting to work on the Hydralisks, and I need them badly. I want to try and block that ramp, make him think that he's got to run back down. Spine crawlers are there for pressure. Zerglings are put him in. I don't think he wants to take the risk. He doesn't personally know just quite how much I've got. But if he went for it and he just recklessly went up that ramp and then decided to kill me, he would have. Definitely would have finished the game here. This is where I would have lost. But you've got to trick your opponent. You've got to make them think you've got more than you have. You've got to play on their mind. You've got to, you know, you just mess around with their heads as much as you possibly can, which is what's clearly working out for me at the moment. He's done me a favour there with that force field, really. Big favour. Because the more time I can buy, the better. I think he was hoping that his range was going to be able to do some more damage whilst it sits behind the force field and attacks my Zerglings, but he might have noticed that I've actually got a fair few Hydras now. And Hydras are awesome if they're untouched. They do such good DPS. DPS is damage per second, in case you didn't know. But I imagine a lot of people know what that is.